Some men do not leave their marriages all at once. They leave slowly. First, they stop sharing their thoughts. Then, they stop offering affection. They become impatient with ordinary conversations, uninterested in the woman beside them, irritated by the very responsibilities they once willingly accepted. They remain in the house, perhaps. They continue paying some of the bills. They perform the minimum required of them and call it duty. But emotionally, they have already gone elsewhere. And when their wives finally stop reaching for them, when they stop initiating intimacy, stop begging for conversations, stop offering warmth to a man who repeatedly returns it with indifference, these men often behave as though they have been deprived of something that was rightfully theirs. They do not ask what caused the distance. They do not examine the years of neglect, humiliation, secrecy, betrayal, or emotional absence that came before it. Instead, they look outside the marriage. There's always someone new somewhere, someone younger, someone who does not know their history, someone who has never seen them tired, selfish, dishonest, angry, or emotionally unavailable. Someone who does not yet expect them to carry the weight of an ordinary life. And this is what some men mistake for love. They mistake unfamiliarity for compatibility. They mistake admiration for respect. They mistake secrecy for freedom. They mistake sexual excitement for happiness. They mistake the absence of responsibility for peace. But there is nothing extraordinary about being desirable to someone who has never had to live with the consequences of your character. The real test of a person is not how charming they can be in stolen hours. It is how they behave inside the life they promise to protect. It is easy to be attentive when there are no children to raise, no illnesses to endure, no financial pressures, no difficult mornings, no aging parents, no history, no accountability. It is easy to appear romantic when someone else has carried your responsibilities all day. The woman left at home may have spent years holding together the very life that allowed him to escape from it. She remembered the appointments. She raised the children. She maintained relationships with relatives. She carried the emotional atmosphere of the home. She planned the gatherings, endured the difficult seasons, kept track of what everyone needed, and often placed her own desires at the bottom of the list. Yet because this labor did not arrive with applause, he began to treat it as though it had no value. He saw the familiar face and forgot the history within it. He saw the routine and failed to understand that routine is not emptiness. Routine is what safety looks like when it has survived for years. It is the cup of tea placed beside you without asking. It is someone knowing when you are worried before you say a word. It is the private language built between two people over decades. It is children returning to a home where both parents still know the shape of their lives. It is family dinners, arguments that are repaired, journeys planned together, familiar roads, shared prayers, celebrations, grief, laughter, aging, belonging. It is having someone beside you who remembers the world knew your name. These things may not carry the thrill of secrecy, but they carry something far more difficult to build: meaning. A man may leave all of this behind, believing that he is escaping a burden. He may tell himself that he deserves excitement, that life has become dull, that his wife has changed, that he is only seeking happiness. But perhaps what he's really running from is the demand to become a deeper human being. A real relationship requires self-examination. It requires patience when admiration fades. It requires tenderness when bodies change. It requires loyalty when temptation appears. It requires the ability to repair what has been damaged instead of searching for someone who has not yet discovered your flaws. Some men never developed that inner capacity. Perhaps they grew up in homes where a woman served and men were rarely questioned. Perhaps they learned that providing money excused emotional absence. Perhaps they saw affection as weakness, accountability as humiliation, and family responsibility as a restriction upon male freedom. Perhaps they were praised for achievement but never taught empathy. They learned how to earn, how to command, how to appear respectable, but not how to remain emotionally present, not how to apologize without defending themselves, not how to sit with another person's pain when they are the cause of it, not how to protect something precious after the excitement of possessing it has passed. And so they continue chasing the feeling of being newly admired. Because new admiration asks nothing of them. It does not remind them of broken promises. It does not carry the memory of nights their wife cried alone. It does not ask why they were absent when their children needed them. It allows them to become the hero of a story whose earlier chapters have been carefully hidden. But a person cannot escape his own character by entering another woman's life. Whatever emptiness made him abandon tenderness will eventually follow him there. Novelty fades, bodies change, fantasy becomes routine, and the man who never learned how to create intimacy will once again feel trapped by the ordinary demands of love. Because the problem was never simply the woman he left behind. The problem was his inability to understand what love becomes after desire is no longer new. Mature love is not a permanent state of excitement. It is participation. It is responsibility willingly carried. It is choosing to remain human in the presence of someone whose vulnerabilities you know. It is being the head of a family, not through authority, fear, or financial control, but through steadiness, wisdom, protection, and moral courage. It is creating goals together, taking walks, planning journeys, sitting around a table, showing up for the children, making decisions without silencing others, building traditions, repairing disagreements, growing older without making the person beside you feel disposable. There is dignity in that life. There is peace in being trusted. There is honor in knowing that your family feels safer because you are present. There is a kind of happiness in belonging to people who have seen your weakest seasons and still make space for you at the table. But some men understand the price of this only after they have damaged it beyond recognition. They discover that attention is not devotion, that being desired is not the same as being known, that a secret relationship cannot replace a home, that a temporary thrill cannot hold them when they become ill, frightened, irrelevant, or old. And the woman they neglected may no longer be waiting. She may have spent years mourning the marriage while still living inside it. By the time he finally recognizes her value, she may have already learned to live without his warmth. She may no longer ask where he has been, not because the betrayal stopped hurting, but because something inside her stopped expecting him to return as the man he promised to be. This is the tragedy. Not merely that a man desires someone else, but that he becomes willing to destroy years of trust for moments that cannot sustain him. That he wounds the woman who shared his life, confuses his children, fractures the home, and diminishes his own integrity, all while believing he's moving towards freedom. He may still have money, he may still have status, he may still be called successful, but success without character is only appearance. And a man who provides materially while abandoning his family emotionally should not mistake maintenance for love. A home needs more than money. It needs presence. It needs conversations. It needs affection. It needs moral safety. It needs a person whose private behavior does not contradict the respect he demands publicly. Perhaps the question is not why some wives stop offering intimacy. Perhaps the question is how long a woman can continue offering her body and tenderness where her heart no longer feels protected. Perhaps her withdrawal is not cruelty. Perhaps it is the final language of a nervous system that has lived too long without safety. And perhaps the greatest loss is not that another woman entered the story, or several, or hundreds. It is that a man became so distracted by what was available outside his home that he could no longer see what was sacred within it: the warmth, the history, the respect, the children, the familiar laughter, the ordinary evenings, the person who knew his beginnings, the life that could have deepened with time. He thought he was leaving behind responsibility. He may one day understand that he was leaving behind belonging. And belonging, once deliberately broken, is not always waiting when the excitement ends.